All right, everybody. My name is Branson Bailey. Today is January 25th, 2025. This is a part two to my previous video in my anti-forensics project playlist. Um, to quickly catch anybody up that missed the last video or is unaware of what's happening, um, I'm creating a program that is meant to be run in line with or after a malicious program that's been executed on a system. Um, and this program will continually monitor the processes running on that system for common forensics tools such as FTK Imager or Autopsy, X-Ways, programs such as those. In the event that it finds a process for one of those programs, it will then execute a laundry list of destructive tasks, such as um, deleting the MBR, encrypting the drive, deleting system logs, attempting to self-destruct, so delete the program itself, and then it'll crash the system. Um, all of those are meant to hinder a forensics investigation. Um, so it's meant to basically make the drive unusable or, from a forensics perspective. So before we start, I need to make a couple quick notes. Number one, Um, this project was not made with any malicious or ill intent whatsoever. This is simply a learning experience. I believe I said it in the last video, but this is following a brief discussion with one of my professors after class where I brought up the topic and just had a few questions about it, if it had ever been done or if it could be done, things like that. I took it upon myself to try to create a program to do this because I thought that it was a neat idea and um I wanted some practice. So I wrote it in Go because I'm trying to learn Go, and I figured what better way to learn than to get a little project going with it. Um, so I will go over my code a little bit later in a separate video, and I'll go in it more in depth, kind of explain what everything's doing and my thought process behind things and whatnot. Another note is that this is a highly destructive and malicious program. Um, so please do not use this program or any program like this on any device whatsoever without the explicit permission from that device owner to execute said program. Period. End of story. You can get into some serious trouble executing programs like these, or any malicious program for that matter. So again, this was not made for any malicious or ill intent. This is simply a learning experience and a project. So I am just I'm just testing with it basically. Um, with that being said, and I'm not responsible for any use of this program. Um, again, this is for a learning experience. Um, with that being said, with this program being so destructive, um, I'm taking certain precautions to make sure that I can test this in a safe way. So I'm testing this in a virtual machine. This is a fresh Windows 11 virtual machine. Um, in fact, the only things I've done to it are install Autopsy, which is going to be my forensics tool of choice for this demonstration, and put my program on here. Also created a few snapshots to be able to revert to different versions of the running system in the event that something goes wrong, or in our case, if something goes right. So I have going to double check that I've deleted my shared folder. I have. I used a shared folder to get my program on here, so I was just making sure that it was gone. So I'm going to start Autopsy. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm going to start my program. My program will check if it's running as administrator, and in theory, it will escalate the privileges to administrator. However, for this demonstration, just for ease of use, I'm going to manually set it to administrator. And see it detected the autopsy service. and it has crashed. So I'm clicking and dragging, nothing's working at all. So again, just a quick note here. Um, a couple things. So you see that the command prompt opened up. Um, in actual practice, you wouldn't have to have the command prompt pop up. Um, I am I want it to pop up for this because I'm I it's learning and it's a learning experience. It helps to troubleshoot as well. So I've also added some logging features, so it's logging some of what it's doing to the screen, um, so that it can, or so that I can kind of read what it's doing, and so it just helps for demonstration purposes. So if we this system is completely crashed, by the way. So I'm clicking and dragging, nothing's working. If I click on these, nothing works. And I'll reboot it in a second, you'll see. But it's done for. Um, but so it's found services that are interfering with it encrypting the drive. So it stops the services, it'll unmount the volume to give it direct drive access. Windows has features that disable the ability to overwrite or encrypt the C drive when it's in use. So when you unmount it, you can do that. Um, it logs what tool it found, so it found Autopsy. Then it overwrites the master boot record, MBR, and then it's encrypting it, and it has this encryption key. In parentheses, this is will be disregarded. So this, the program will delete this key after it's been run. Um, so it's supposed to basically make it so that excuse me, any forensic investigator will not be able to recover the data on the drive because it's encrypted. And I use AES in CBC, chain block cipher mode. And then it's erasing all the system logs. Has a little confirmation that they've been erased. It'll delete the program, and then it crashes the system. So again, this is a completely unusable machine at this point. Nothing that I'm doing will work. Nothing's registering. Control Alt Delete. That's for my system. Nothing's working. So I'm gonna reset it. It's just basically restarting the system. There you go. So you see here that no bootable option or device was found. So again, I deleted the MBR, which is the master boot record. It's basically it's what it's what lets you boot into Windows, and the simplest way to put it. Um, so I've overwritten that with a bunch of random data. So this is completely unusable. Um, and yeah. So as a quick recap, I created this program not for any malicious real intent, but as a learning experience. I've done some testing for various parts of the program, but never the full program until now. Um, and I hope that you enjoyed this process. Again, in a later video, I will go over in depth my program and what it does, and try to explain parts of it, and my thought process behind um, choosing how to do things. Um, but yeah, I hope everybody has a great day and that you enjoyed this program. Again, please do not use this program or any program like these on any device whatsoever without explicit permission from the device's owner to execute said program. Thank you.